Today's walk is my neighborhood. We're gonna do a 3-mile walk. I'm probably gonna walk towards Target. Not probably, I am gonna walk towards Target. So we'll see. If I get into a zone, maybe I'll have more to say. Might be a short video. Little mailbox art for you. I feel like it's like a character or creature directly out of Dr. Seuss or something. I love it. So yeah, this is the hood. Lots of trees. Gray skies for now, but it's supposed to be super sunny and like 80 degrees later in a couple hours. It's kind of cool. Like right close to, if you go down the street and you hop over those bushes, you'll begin to see the 5 freeway, 5 north and south, running up to Seattle or running down to Portland. Yeah, so we're gonna walk this main road out here and make our way to Target. And so I've got community on the mind today, and like really building community. And you know, it's like I have a group of friends here physically, new friends that I made since I've moved up here. A couple Filipino guys, actually, one half Filipino, half Mexican, and then a Filipino dude, Filipino American, who I was born here, raised here. I don't know if his parents are first gen or what, but anyhow, and then a couple of like part Filipino people that are like my neighbors. So yeah, but I don't have a community outside of that, and so I'm really looking at building my online community more. The Filipinos, the metaverse, the bronze derby. I kind of want to combine the two a bit. Yeah, so that's my story. Morning glory, at least so far. You know, if we didn't have Google Maps or Apple Maps, I would be telling people to turn left at the Black Couch. So when we first moved here, this is a park, obviously within walking distance of our house, so it's a 2-minute drive. But when we first moved here, we were kind of blown away by all the woods, and it feels like it goes really deep just because it's an environment I wasn't used to. But then you walk it, and it's really not that deep. It's not even that big. It just gives this feeling of being big, being in SoCal my entire life. It's often used. You see a lot of dogs and some families, and sometimes people are even just sitting at one of these tables, right? If you can see that one, I can't even see it. There it is. One of these tables just working on their computer and hanging out. So there's even a dog over out in there. You can't see it right now. But we'll walk and I'll kind of show you what it's like to live in the PNW if you've never been out here, because this is pretty common. And one day I'll take you to like Leverage Park or something, and it's like a big wooded area. Coco's looking for the restroom, so give me 1 second. Okay, it's quite simple. That was the park where we just were. Here we go. We're gonna walk down this little path. Yeah, it really kind of blew my mind. It made me feel so different because I love trees. I love the interconnectivity of trees. I love that in a way it's its own little community. And if you believe in the wood wide web, which I guess there's some people that don't, but I think it makes sense to me. All these trees connect and communicate with each other, speak to each other, but not with vocal language, a different type of language. In the same way like a dog kind of connects with smells, right? And they're reading and they are leaving quote unquote P-mail for each other. Yeah, so I think that's kind of interesting. So it kind of blew me away. Now this is like second nature. This is just part of my life currently, and if I were to ever move away from here, it's definitely a big element I would miss. I'm just letting Coco smell around. But you'll see that we'll walk this entire thing. I won't cut it. Oh, look how big that long, tall that tree is. It's kind of gorgeous, isn't it? There's even like a little Suds Creek, although I think it's pretty dry. And we'll get a close-up of that. Coco, come on, this way. Good girl. Suds Creek habitat helps. We won't go. Sorry, I was interrupted by a phone call. So we'll get as close to the edge over here as we can. You can peer down into it. But see, you can even see the park still from here, right? So it shows you how deep it isn't. We could walk that path, I guess. Maybe one day I should. I've not done that yet. We're not going to today. I want some hiking boots on or something. And I might do it without Coco for now. Do it first, see what's up. Okay, so just on the other side of this fence, over there on the other side of those trees, you can start to see some housing. So you're very close. You're not very taken away, but when I was new, I was kind of blown away. Look at these roots. I love me some trees. These dudes are tall. There's a nice tall pine tree over there. It's pretty cool. And lots of moss. A different type of moss than you see in LA, meaning MOSS, this moss, versus Spanish Moor moss, MAS. In fact, I have a poem somewhere called Moss, and it's MAS MOSS, and I just go off on how I love MOSS moss and how I grew up with the word moss, MAS, being in SoCal. But yeah, I'm very inspired by these trees. I mean, it feels so tall, huh? Do a little ASMR, I guess. The squirrels are gray out here compared to the brown ones. Now we are at the end. People playing in the big grass area with their doggies. So you can see I'm still pretty close to the park, and I love that even the kids draw hearts out here. Remnants of all the firecrackers from 4th, but you do see a lot of hearts. The word love, lots of like front yard decorations for almost every holiday. For the very first time during Valentine's Day, I saw front yard decorations, which is not something I'd ever seen before. But yeah, lots of love, lots of heart in this general area, for sure. So that's cool. More, some sticker art, political statements for like local biker gangs or groups, clubs. And there's a few, I've seen them. There's even a bar in downtown Vancouver that asks you not to wear your colors, and this is not like Bloods versus Crips. This is various biker gangs and or clubs, you know, people that really aren't in gang, but because of the way they dress, they get considered that. Man, this apartment complex went off during the holidays. Lots of trash, and the city doesn't provide a lot of janitorial services. You know, there's not a lot of cleanup around here, so a lot of that will stay unless a citizen does, some kind of citizen community group does that, which doesn't exist as far as I know. Once again, hearts. I'm pretty sure that this is just like maybe chalk art. There's a lot of chalk art in this general area. I see it all the time. Okay, so we didn't make it to Target. None of you guys really care. She wanted to turn around. But I've got, when I tend to go on these walks, I usually have NFTs, AI, metaverse, this whole new tech world on my mind. And it's always about creativity and futurism and how it's all going to end up working. I think NFTs definitely have a bad rap. People don't really understand what they are, because there's way more than just digital art. But man, look at all these flowers. Sorry, squirrel moment. So it's way more than digital art, and eventually what's going to happen as AI builds and anybody can do anything, anybody can create an article, anybody can create a graphic, anybody can create a business, anybody can create crypto, I'm sure, money at some point. It just means that what will happen is that there's going to be a lot of lies, a lot more than there are right now. If you look into American government, all the lies are very deeply covered. But anyways, that's a whole different story. There's just gonna be a lot of lies. Everybody's gonna be lying everywhere. Everybody's gonna be scamming. Truth is gonna be hard to come by. And what NFTs can provide are provenance. They can provide the ability to know that, you know, it was actually me calling my mom asking for help or something like that. It's a ability to understand what happens in the moment, but for that to like happen, it's like NFTs and the blockchain are kind of like a digital timeline. So when it gets in, when an NFT gets imprinted on the digital timeline, then it's something that happened in that moment. But for that to happen, that means this entire vlog, as I am doing it, as I am making it, despite the pre-editing or the editing, post-editing, that's what I was thinking of. I don't know why I'm not fully thinking straight. But the post-editing this morning, or the post-editing after this, would also be logged on the blockchain. So this entire moment right now will be logged as I take it, as I take this video. And if I were to go back and edit everything I just said and like kind of trim it down, you would all know, and you would all also have the information of me doing this. All those could be like these NFTs on the blockchain to provide provenance. But for that to happen, that means that something that we are wearing or something that we are a part of will always have to be part of this, almost like electricity, just something that, or the Wi-Fi, something that kind of exists up in the air or and around you at all times, but you don't see it, yet you're always connected. So maybe through Wi-Fi, everything just gets made. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. And then will you want to own certain moments of that NFT? So like, imagine if, I don't know, let's just say my San Diego Padres make a awesome comeback and they end up winning the World Series, and you could possibly own the moment it happens, like the moment the player touches home plate to score the leading run. That could be an NFT if everything was on the timeline, and then suddenly money is everybody's making money off of collectibles. You know, it's a possible world. It seems pretty far away, but it's definitely a possibility. So there's a nice sign in the neighborhood. Kindness is giving hope to those who think they're all alone in this world. PNW has a lot of heart. It really does. Some street art, kind of. I don't know why this is spray painted here, but someone took this as canvas, which personally I'm okay with. It's a mailbox. I'm not gonna reveal this address, but here it is. The word love, again, just by itself, for no reason other than to spread the idea. What's interesting to me, like when I record this, Threads like officially released on Thursday. A bunch of people got in on Wednesday, and it took like 24 hours or something to reach 30 million people or some shit like that. That's even faster than ChatGPT. And everybody knows that Facebook is in control, Meta's in control, Zucks is in control. Everybody knows the privacy that happens with that. And while there is this uproar against saving your data, hang on, we'll let this motorcycle go by. See how Coco reacts. Okay. While everybody understands that Facebook and Meta is taking your data and using it for their purposes, it doesn't seem that everybody really cares. Yes, there's an uproar against it, and people are going with Twitter and staying with Twitter and Elon and all of that. But I don't know, I remain neutral between the two, as for the record, between two billionaires fighting over their things. I remain neutral. I mean, I'm on Threads. I jumped right on it. I use Facebook all the time. You might even be watching this on Facebook. So apparently I don't really care that deeply either, or maybe it's because nothing bad has ever really happened to me because my data's out there, because I'm not a horrible human being. And then two, maybe it's also, I don't know, like there's a ton of reasons, I'm sure. Oh, the benefits outweigh the negatives. Like I get to communicate with a ton of people, and so maybe communication is more important to people than privacy. But if that remains the case, then as time goes on, I'm seeing what this car was doing. I'll just chill and wait. Okay. As time goes on, and if my previous idea in this vlog is true, where every moment of our life ends up on a blockchain, and anybody can read any moment of your life, then privacy chambers? How, like, privacy is still going to be a thing. You're still going to want it and need it. I don't know, because not everybody is an exhibitionist in every sense of the word. So I imagine a world where, if what I said was true, that piece of trash looks like a gum wrapper. I'm not touching it. That piece of trash that is probably a gum wrapper, you would, if you wanted to take the time will be a massive currency, but if you wanted to take the time, you could probably trace back the history of that gum wrapper, if that makes any sense, in a way that gum wrapper would have its own like story on the blockchain. Why you'd want to do that, I don't know. Oh, here's my homie, actually, one of my neighbors and Coco's friend. I don't know if he wants to be on camera, so I'll just leave it at that, but I'll talk to you guys later.